G'day guys, and today Shorty and I are going to do the review, which is between Geelong and Adelaide at Simmons Stadium on the Saturday night. The Cats got home in the end, mate, by 30 points. A really impressive win, and a win we had to have. And the last two losses for the Crows are us, believe it or not. So that's quite a crazy little turnaround there. Desperate win, had to get the job done, and we did. And season momentarily back on track, but yeah, time will tell, mate. We were at the game, and it was very fiery. How did you see it?
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it, mate? We had to get the win, as you say, and we did. And it's one of those games where you're just not quite sure what's going to happen. I mean, the Crows maybe weren't at their best. Was it because of us, possibly? But we certainly turned our form around quite a bit, because we were saying in the tips and last week's review probably how we'd really need to turn around something fairly drastic to get a win, and I think we did that because our structures were much better. We were better around the ball. We seemed to move it a fair bit better than we had. We just had a bit more intent around the footy, I felt.
Yeah.
And, you know, everything, I mean, there wasn't a glaring thing that we just were way better in. It was just overall, we probably notched everything from sort of, you know, I don't know, 4 or 5 out of 10 to sort of that 7, 8-ish. Certainly a bit to work on for sure, and just a bit more consistency, and certainly that transition can improve even more so. But it was just good to see some real intent around the footy. We were hunting him. The pressure was great, and I think we probably could have been won by a little bit more. Certainly half time, I felt like we probably could have been even, you know, a few goals clear. But, you know, they're a good side, and to have a win like that's really massive for the context of the season and ladder position. And, you know, it's timely, and certainly when we're at home, you just never know what we can do. I mean, we're such a good side down there most of the time. I mean, I know Sydney beat us, but, you know, we are capable of beating anyone at home, that's for sure. And, yeah, it provides that little bit of hope we were talking about, mate. We got a little bit more to hang our hope on now than just pure fingers crossed and just hoping. So it was a bit to work with there, which is good.
Nicely summed up, mate. Yeah, just looking at the numbers and everything like that. Yeah, there's nothing really outstanding, as you sort of alluded to. Contested possessions pretty good, and out tackled them as well. So it's a promising sign there, mate. Plus 18 and plus 13 for those two respectively. Yeah, again, it was one of those games where it was a real challenge for the first half, and again, as you probably alluded to, should have been further in front at half time. And yeah, look, I don't really subscribe to should be further in front. What I will subscribe to is how we bounced in the second half, and we played well, especially when the chips were down and the premiership quarter came around. We were absolutely fantastic, kicking 5 goals in that quarter, but fundamentally, yeah, look, our skills were poor at times, but we started playing through the corridor and playing with a bit more confidence, which has been the key word of late, mate. It's the flavour of the month. I felt, we were actually taking the game on, and even when it maybe wasn't the right decision to take it on, I like the mindset behind that, which is what you've got to instill in your players, and you're not going to win a premiership if you don't have that mindset. So I'd much rather than play the way they played against Adelaide than the way they played against Fremantle, which was safe and conservative. So that was probably one of the most pleasing things of the night, and just really played as a team. Like, everyone seemed to have played well, and there wasn't many players where you think, oh, gee, they had a bit of a stinker, or gee, this person's really struggling. You might delve into a few of those in the chopping block where there's some that may still not be quite where they're at, a bit out of touch, as you alluded to last night. But overall, really happy with the response and the performance there. It puts our season slightly back on track, or as on track as it can be, I suppose. Like, I'm not thinking, oh, we're winning the premiership or we're definite top fours. Like, there's still a lot to be played out, and there's a few lower teams coming up. So, look, if you tip based on the teams are below us that we should win, we'll finish close to the top of the ladder, but it never works out that way. So, well, it doesn't always work out that way, I should say, not never. But look, I'm happy with the improvement at the very least. I mean, still lacking a bit of cohesion between midfield and forward and things like that. But I thought our defence was fantastic last night. to keep a team that's kicking 100 points every week down to 7 goals for the match is phenomenal, mate. Very happy with that.
Yeah, definitely. And I felt we probably had the game on our terms for much of the match, and we dominated time in forward half, and I think we would have been well up on that stat again, and in easy conditions, sort of dominated the territory game, even though it wasn't always pretty. I think we dominated that, and as you say, improvement, and we're not going to click our fingers and 1 week later we're going to go from average to we can win the flag again, but it's certainly, we've spoken about how we need sort of gradual improvement, and
absolutely.
Last night was a good step from some individuals and as a team, so provides promise.
That's what it's about, mate. Nicely summed up there. We'll move into the votes of the game, which don't know if you thought of any yet.
Yeah, I have thought of a couple. I had a few in mind, but there's probably a handful of guys that came to mind immediately, but none really shone out as a clear best or second best. But
I agree.
I mean, I think probably I gave 3 votes to Shorty and I. I think over the course of the 4 quarters, he tended to use the ball the best, looked so composed, and was just one of his better games for the season, and he's had a pretty good year. So he just he doesn't do as much as he once did, but for his age and where he's at, he plays some amazing footy. So I gave him 3, and I gave 2 to Dangerfield still. I think it wasn't his best game by any means, but I still felt, in comparison to everyone else, he was probably the second best for us. Because he racked up a lot of the inside ball and had some really good breakaway clearances, and especially when we got on top, I felt he was right in the thick of it. Sometimes we get judged for superstars on superstar standards, and he wasn't up to that, but I still felt he's second best. And I gave 1 vote to Bartel. I thought, he was really impressive, had a fair bit of the ball, and was fairly clean with it, I thought. It was a tough night to be clean, but I thought for the most part, I mean, I haven't looked at any numbers, but he seemed to, get a good hand in there or get it off, and just, I thought he played a good game, especially early. So,
That's a good vote.
Have it yourself, mate. What do you reckon?
Yeah, no, they're somewhat similar. At least a few names will be featuring there. Corey Enright will get the 3 votes as well. So you, myself, and Jeff all united about that decision. So it's quite.
Thanks, Scott.
Well, there you go. 31 possessions, and he got 6 marks and also a couple of tackles. But yeah, the numbers really don't really speak enough for what he did on the field, which was just, as you saw, composure, the general down back, and just made brilliant decisions under pressure, and was very clean on a very, we'll say, is a pretty wet night. Just very good at the crucial moments, and just did what he had to do. And it was spectacular. Probably one of his better games that he's played in his career, and pretty rare that a defender gets 3 votes, let's be honest. So he's done fantastic to get the 3 there. I've given the 2 to Jimmy Bartel, who got the 34 disposals, and he got 3 marks, 4 free kicks for him as well, and 5 tackles next to his name. He was in and under, and he looked somewhat quick at times. He was much fresher, I felt. I think he nearly chased down, it might have been Lyons or Atkins at one point, so I was pretty happy with that effort, actually. So loved the way he went about it, and he usually makes some pretty good decisions as well. So Bartel got the 2. And I gave the 1 to Selwood. He got the 34 possessions and the 3 marks. Also got 4 tackles next to his name. And I thought the 3rd quarter especially, he really stood up when someone needed to stand up. He led from the front and absolutely wheeled us over the line. Plenty of high tackles to him. And maybe not fantastic with the ball, but I thought what he did around the ball, grunt work, and just, really making a mark when we needed someone to make a mark.
Yeah, for sure. No, he was great.
Yeah, you could ravel those, Selwood and Dangerfield in the top 3. So, they were really good. Clear best 4.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they led the way, mate, which is good.
Perfect. So we'll move on to your segment, which is the chopping block, and it'll be interesting to see what you've got for us this week, mate. Not too many terrible players, and we'll see who's knocking down the door in the VFL if you have any info on that.
Yeah, the old chopping block. Well, I think McCarthy probably might find his way to the twos this week. I think he's just not quite doing enough. I mean, he's a guy that shows a lot of promise at times and a lot of potential, but just not quite doing it. So I think he's got to be on the watch sort of thing, and also Kirsten as well. A bit of blast from the past. We often pick on old Shane, but I think we gave him credit where it was due in the past, more recently, and he's just dropped off a bit. And the problem with him is we know what he can do, but when he's not doing that, he's pretty much doing nothing. So I think, Menzel was a good foil to Hawkins last night, and that was good, but, gosh, you just wish Kirsten had a bit more presence, and I don't think he'll be dropped, but I think certainly the question has to be asked, because I liked, mainly late in the game when Blitzarves, because Zach Smith was a late out, which of course meant Stanley was mainly going to ruck, but they often put Stanley forward a bit more, and Blitzarves played quite a bit more in the ruck, and I felt that worked pretty well, which sort of begs the question that maybe we can, Smith could come back, and then that would, if they're happy with Stanley playing a bit more forward, which has been the case, you could argue the point that Blitzar's ruck time could increase, which is where he plays his better footy statistically, and that would mean that, I know they say Kirsten isn't a key forward, but I really don't think you can have that many guys over sort of 189 or whatever, sort of being up in the forward line. So his position might be questionable. But as for the VFL, it was quite good, really. We won by 78 points, I think, over the Bombers. And sometimes you win in the twos, and it's all the twos guys getting good touches, and sort of those other blokes. But it was the AFL listed players that were really good.
Perfect, mate.
Holland Smith was named second best. Lang was best on ground, that's right, he was best on, so he's got to be pushing right for selection for probably McCarthy's spot. Then Holland Smith and then Scott Sell was our third best, so Clark kicked 3 but wasn't named as the best. You couldn't see him getting a recall at the moment. And we should probably also touch on Menengola, how good he was for a debut. I thought he was fantastic. Right. And I think we all agreed on that at the footy, and he won't be going anywhere this week, that's for sure. He was really good. So all of a sudden we have a reasonable amount of depth, which is nice. It's not necessarily a stack of blokes in peak form, but there is players to choose from, so that's good.
That's what we like, mate. Yeah, how good's Menengola? Just very clean, smooth, tough in the contest, and made really good educated decisions under pressure, and just did what he had to do. So I really liked the way he played.
Yeah, it was really good to see. He looked like he belonged out there, which was probably the most promising thing. Didn't look lost. So he'll certainly be in the side next Friday night if we take on the Dogs, mate. So another one that's critical to how the ladder finally works out in 5 or 6 weeks, whatever it is.
Yeah, got the Dogs at Simmons Stadium next Friday night, which you should be all right to go to, mate. Will you be able to make that one?
Yeah, like fans say, I'll be there.
Of course. Sweet. So the Dogs, they got touched up by the Saints, so they lost by 15 points, but they had 2 horrific injuries, with Redpath out with an ACL, can't take a trick, and Mitch Wallace broke his own leg. So that's pretty brutal. It took me about 5 or so times to see, and Jason Dunstall's actually explain what happened, because I couldn't see what actually happened as he broke his leg until he explained it. So it was a brutal bit of play. But look, I think they get Jake Stringer back. I think they may get Dalhouse back. I'm just going by what I've seen on sort of Facebook kind of thing. I haven't really delved into who's in and who's not. Look, I can't recall the Dogs beating us at Simmons too often. I tipped them to beat us last year. I think we won by 8 points last time. Yeah, it's a really tough one. I'm not sure if I really want to delve into the tip side of things of this, because I keep tipping Geelong to lose, and we keep winning. So I still haven't picked them right since round 8, mate. And I'm more than happy to keep tipping against us if it means we're going to win.
Yeah, no, I developed a nice little superstition there.
Which has absolutely no bearing on the result. Sorry?
What's that, mate?
No, you go.
I was just going to say, they can't take a trick, the Dogs, can they? They just have had so many injuries and they're all long-term. Brilliant.
Yeah, look, we think we're unlucky, and yeah, we are a bit, but I think out of their core players, yeah, they really take a huge beating to that. And yeah, but back to my superstition, I suppose, yeah, it has no real bearing on the final result, but funny how it's worked basically 10 weeks in a row, so
it has been ironic.
Whatever works for you, mate, but I'll just go with the Dogs just based off my superstition, even though I'm expecting us to win, mate, so I won't put that in there. What do you reckon? What do you reckon, mate?
Yeah, well, look, I think the Doggies probably, if it played them maybe at another stage in the year, I'd be fairly concerned. I mean, I know we beat them the other time as well at Etihad, but when they're really up and going, they're a dangerous side, but they just lost a bit, and that, Hannison doesn't seem to be the same player he was. Even someone like Diggs, who was really good early in the season, not quite there, and of course no Murphy, and they need a stringer, really a presence in the forward line, or they just lack a bit, and, I think it's just going to be hard for them to kick a winning score, really, because our defence is great, we seem to suffocate side Simmons as well, we're coming into some good form. We are at a stage where we have to rock up to every game paying some serious respect to the opposition, because we're just, we're not good enough to take sides half-assed sort of thing. We have to treat them with respect because the Dogs can't play, but you would certainly enter the game with a reasonable amount of confidence on, our most recent game, and certainly theirs. They're just lacking a bit of zip and a bit of zing. They're just Redpath or Hurt. Wallace is an important cog in their midfield, and I would expect us to come away with the points, mate. But we've said that at times throughout the season, and unfortunately we are a side that you wouldn't put in, you can bank on them sort of thing.
No.
But they've set the standard against the Crows, and I think that now becomes the bare minimum for what we expect as far as intensity and purpose with the ball. So I expect to build on that, but at the very least we need to bring what we did Saturday night.
Solid, mate, nicely said.
Thank you, mate. Thank you. Good review, son. It was good stuff.
Yeah, possibly a bit quicker. I'll find out soon. Alrighty. Sweet. Yeah, thanks for listening in, guys. That's a review from Shorty and myself, with the Cats coming home by 30 points against the Crows with a much needed win, and we came away with the chocolates, so did what we're about to do. Don't forget to give the video a like, share it around, and subscribe as well. Don't forget to check out darijoe does the Geelong Goal video highlights each week as well. It'd be terrific. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you guys all next time.